maybe the food's cold.
Okay, here we go. You're alive right now. Okay, gonna have some fun on the stream today. Okay. Okay, okay, here we go. Just see here. Okay.
I am ready to get this over with.
Okay, did you guys get a notification? Okay. Okay, here we go. Okay. Okay. Hey, hey everyone. Okay, let me Okay, can everyone hear me clearly on this? Okay. Okay. How is everyone? Hey guys, how are you? Oh, hey Tyler, thank you for sponsoring my channel again. Okay. Get this guy here. Are you guys able to hear me good? Okay, okay, wait, my mic is working here, I think. Okay. Whoa, whoa, what the? Oh, come on, man.
What?
These guys are just randoms, that's just it. But it's just, man.
Your host down or something?
I got downed before. Here.
Alright.
Hello.
I got it.
Can everyone hear me on the stream? Let me see here. Is everyone able to hear me? Do I sound okay? Good. Okay, I was okay. Okay. Brandon, let's just go to a new session here. I just don't want these people, I don't know why they were just, doing that. Those weren't just stream griefers, guys. Those were just people that were just randoms in the hanging out in Valentine that just shot me. Top 10 good and or cringy Saints Row 2022 moments. The thing about that is that DL Gaming is I want to make a video on like comparing Saints Row 2 to Saints Row 2022 and talk about like the top 5 best things in like Saints Row 2. Please do not hate on Rockstar. They are not flawless, but they are our childhood. If it was not for GTA, there would be no Red Dead Redemption. Rockstar is what it is today because of GTA and tried making us happy. What? I don't understand your I don't understand your comment. Rockstar is subject to criticism. And look, I don't even really hate Rockstar. I just really dislike them as a company. And the thing is, I don't even blame the regular Rockstar developer, like the regular developer that works on GTA Online and works on Red Dead Online. I have nothing against them. I don't blame them. I instead blame like the I blame like the people at the top. I blame Sam Hauser. I blame Strauss Zelnick. I blame these people. Call of Duty playthrough will be tomorrow. I'm sorry, Ivan. It'll be tomorrow. I know I've been slacking for like a week on the Call of Duty playthrough, but I had to replay a lot of the missions because I accidentally lost my save data for that, so I had to replay a lot of the story, and so I'm just getting back to the point where I was again. And so, what am I on right now? I'm on the Brazil mission, so I'm just gonna rush through that and do the American mission, and I'll get back to it. Will I stream the Modern Warfare 2 beta? Yes, tomorrow I will.
Hello?
Hello, Kanzai. Hey everyone, what's up? Let me form a posse here again. How's the apartment? Has everything been fixed up after the flood? Yes, it has been. It has been fixed up. And the guy's insurance is supposed to compensate me for my mattress, the comforter, and the pillows. It's okay, Ali. You don't have to apologize. You know what I'll say about, like, Sam Hauser is, like, I have no respect for Sam Hauser anymore. And the reason I don't have respect for him anymore is because look at how Sam Hauser handled the definitive edition of, like, GTA, the classic GTA games. And what do I mean by that? I mean him doing nothing. That's what I basically mean. Is Rockstar did the stupidest apology I have ever seen for the GTA definitive edition. They posted, like, one paragraph. That's it, apologizing. There was no video, no interview, nothing. Like, Sam Hauser should have been the one that came out and said, "We're sorry. This is not we're much better than this. We care about quality in games. We're gonna improve from now on." That should have been it. Sam Hauser should have done a video apology, not this, like, single paragraph like, "Oh, you know, we're sorry for GTA definitive edition glitches." That's nonsense. Let me see here. Actually, you know what? We'll stay here, and let me, Why does LA Noire have massively better graphics, despite being exactly 1 year older than Red Dead 1? They look years apart. I'm not sure. I really don't know, David. I know a lot of these games were made on the PC, are you talking about the console version? Because the PC versions of games always looks better than the console version, but thank you, David, for the super chat. And thank you, Mr. Waifu. Hey, Pro, I'll be waiting for the Saints Row 2 vs. Saints Row 2022 video. Also, have you ever killed Professor Genki in free mode in Saints Row 3? You get 100 to 300,000 rare spawn. No, I've actually never seen him. LA Noire wasn't made by Rockstar. Oh, really? I didn't even know that. Okay. Bro, I'm in the hospital with a collapsed lung right now, and your videos are so helpful for me right now. Well, thank you, Reznev, if I'm reading your name correctly. Thank you, man. And I'm glad that my videos give you joy, and I hope that you feel better. I hope that everything works out, man. It does make me happy to know that you enjoy my content. Please get better. The documentary is going to be out on Sunday, by the way, guys, the Red Dead documentary. And it's going to be, basically, that entire documentary is going to be me explaining why it's not the player's fault for Red Dead Online's failure, but instead Rockstar's fault. And I'm going to be countering that whole business argument that people make defending, you know, Rockstar Games canceling Red Dead Online. I'm going to counter that whole thing. Can you clear persistence for Posse and invite me? Sure, Tyler, but I gotta wait till after the bounty. But also, Tyler, you have to join me. I can't invite you, because the thing is, though, is that the griefers, how they're joining people, is they look at who's in the lobby, and then they see whoever has, like, an open public profile, and they join their session. So I will clear a space in the Posse, and then you'll have to join my, you'll have to join my session. And if you're in my session already, I can just make the Posse open, and then you can join that way. But I can't show the player list in the lobby, or else they're gonna try to get in here and kill me. And thank you, Mitchell. Thank you for sponsoring my channel almost half a year. Hey, Professional, I'm enjoying your videos. Are you gonna make any lore videos like lore videos on Saints Row 1 and Saints Row 2? Keep up the great work. Oh yes, definitely. I'll definitely make lore videos on the old Saints Row games. I have plenty of those planned. I should probably put on free aim. Oh, hello, Jess.
Hi. Hi, Pat. How are you doing?
Hey.
Hey, Jess.
Hey,
Hey, Jess.
Pedro. Hey, Brandon. How are you guys doing?
We're doing good. If you want to join us, we're on Red Dead.
Yeah, I'm
We
good.
don't have a big posse. Oh, one of the targets got away. Okay, wait. I think one person's getting the other one here.
You sound
Yeah,
really
me.
soft, Pat.
What, Jess?
You sound really soft. I don't know if it's settings or yours, but you sound kind of soft to me.
Soft? Wait, what?
Like you're not loud per se, but it's not like it sounds like.
Oh,
you're
it's because I got my headset on the table. That's why. Because I can't wear a headset while I have the hat on. So that's
Oh.
that's probably the reason. I find Saints Row 2022 story short and dull. I kind of agree with you, Victor. And the thing is, though, the story in the Saints Row 2022 wasn't really that good. Like, there wasn't really any memorable moments, and there wasn't, like, when I was playing, like, the story in Saints Row 2, for instance, I wanted to keep playing because I wanted to see what's gonna happen. And, like, the cutscenes were so good, like, when you saw the other gang's perspective, like, you had cutscenes of the other gangs, and you saw what was going on with them, like, that was good. And, like, it made you interested in, like, moving on to the next part, but, like, I didn't have that same feeling with the new Saints Row game. It's like, I just didn't feel like, you know, dancing. It's like the characters were too cringe for me a lot of times, and... Thank you, Mr. Waifu. Punch, Cringe Boss, punch Eli, punch Kevin, punch Nina, punch Nawali, punch The Collective, punch Sergio, punch Atticus, punch Marshall, yes or no? Yes, but it's the, I mean, what I'll say is that some of the characters in, like, the reboot, some of them were decent. Like, I think that Nina, for the most part, was okay. She was cringy at times, but she wasn't as cringy as Kevin or Eli, or even the boss. And Atticus was okay. I didn't have a problem with Atticus being an antagonist. Sergio was okay as an antagonist, but it's just, he had almost no appearances. He had barely any appearances in the story. And then his fate was horrible. Like, Sergio's ending was really bad. And, like, Nawali was actually an interesting character, but they ruined him. So that was, like, that's that,
What time should I deliver it?
You're handsome, Pro. Well, thank you. Always love Red Dead Online's combat mechanism, and you're awesome at it, Pro. Thank you, Ali. Thank you, guys.
What time should I deliver it?
How would you rate GTA 5 on a scale of 1 to 10? Are we talking like the whole GTA 5, or are we talking just a single player? If you're talking like I'm assuming you mean the online and the single player together. 8 out of 10, probably. It was still good. I'd give GTA 4 probably a 9 out of 10, though. I did enjoy GTA 4 a bit more. I have never played the first two Saints Row games, and thank you for that, that super chat, Axel. I have never played the first two Saints Row games, but even I understand why people don't like the new Saints Row. Well, thank you, George.
Time should I deliver him?
GTA 4's online was a lot of fun.
Should I deliver at 7? What?
Also, playing Saints Row 2 now, I miss Fuzz so much. Yeah. I might go back to Saints Row 2. I have to do a 100% completion stream on Saints Row 2. I might do that.
Have you done all the insurance frauds?
Yes, all of them.
Thank you kindly.
Yes, I love insurance fraud.
My favorite activity in,
It's all right there.
my favorite activity was probably Mayhem. Mayhem is the one I like the most. I also liked insurance fraud. Okay, let me, posse members. Okay. Okay,
I'm on.
Okay. Okay, and I'm gonna make the posse is open, so people can just join it now. Just guys, if you join my session, make sure that you're either appearing offline or your profiles are not public. They're private, because the griefers will see whoever has a public profile and will join off of them. Also, Cirque in Saints Row 3 is great. I miss it so much. Which activity, Mr. Waifo? I'm sorry, I'm just confused. The first Modern Warfare 2 beta is live. I played it a lot, and the first time to kill is fast, but the game is so fun. Yes, and do you know what actually interests me about the Modern Warfare 2 beta the most? I've seen some gameplay of it. I'll do a stream of it tomorrow. I still have, if I pre-order, I haven't pre-ordered, but if I pre-order tonight, can I still get a beta code? I think I should, right? But it's, I guess if I get a beta code, that is. But if I get a beta code, I will, I'll stream it tomorrow. Oh, super ethical reality climax. Oh, okay, I get you. They actually had a mode like that in Saints Row the Reboot. They actually had a horror version of like of Professor Genki on that island, but it was only one mission, which sucked. It could have been like an activity. Yeah, you can play it. Okay, yeah. As a Hispanic and a car guy, I like Nina a lot, but then she said the line, "How hard is it to make a latte or something?" Then I was done. Well, thank you, Diego, for the super chat. Yeah. And the thing is, though, is I don't know, like, what do you guys think was the cringiest moment in the Saints Row reboot? Like, I don't wanna make any. I'm not gonna say any spoilers, but I think one of the cringiest scenes in the game was that scene near the end of the game with the Nawali. I think that was like, I think that was like the kitchen. I think people know what I'm talking about. The kitchen scene with the Nawali. I think that was like, that was one of the cringiest scenes I've ever seen. Like, that was just...
That was so weird. Like, I don't know what to make of that, honestly. Like...
I thought it was weird and it was creepy at the same time. Like, it was just...
Yeah.
It was just like...
It's just so bizarre. Jeez.
Money fight. Oh, yeah, I remember that. It's like they're gonna have a slumber party next. It's like...
Oh.
The most terrible moment for me was the joke of an interrogation of the Los Panteros member messing up his car by changing his car colors. Yeah, Bunny, I know what you're talking about. Like, and the thing is, if you actually watch my gameplay of that, like the cutscene in that is like my reaction to that is hilarious, because I started like shooting up his car before you could even customize it, because I thought, like, Nina says that that the Panteros care deeply about their cars, and so I was thinking, okay, they care deeply about their car, so if I smash up his car, he's gonna give me the information I want, right? But instead of smashing up his car, they do the politically correct thing, which they just drive the car into the garage and you just start customizing it. It's changing different paints and the guy starts freaking out, and apparently that's what scares him. Like, that's just you're basically giving him free upgrades on his car, and it's just that was just, my god, that was just really bad. I you know, sometimes I think to myself, is like, who wrote the script for this? It's like that. And also, guys, tomorrow, or I'm gonna upload the other part of Saints Row, because there's still one more part, the epilogue, because there actually is an epilogue final scene. And it's, you have to get 100% completion to get the epilogue in the Saints Row reboot. You have to get all the business ventures. And like, and it's just, and what happened was, when I was doing the final part, like, tomorrow I'll have it up, but I had so many glitches. Like, the final part, I was raging. Like, I was getting pissed. I had so many glitches. So make sure you watch my part tomorrow, guys, of Saints Row, because you'll see I was getting pissed. I was dealing with so many glitches, like, it was ridiculous. And also, guys, my Saints Row reboot is now permanently broken. Like, my reboot of Saints Row. Like, I cannot get 100% completion, by the way. I can still get the epilogue cutscene, but I cannot get 100% completion. And by 100% completion, I mean completing the map, completing all the activities. And the reason I can't do that is because 2 activities are permanently glitched, and I cannot do them. And one of the activities that's permanently glitched is the fast travel points. So I have all the fast travel points, but the one fast travel point I don't have is right next to the casino. And it's in the strip area. And so basically what happened was, you know how you have to take a picture of the sign and like it unlocks it as a fast travel point? I was taking a picture of the sign, and as I was taking the picture, I got run over by a cop car. And then what happened was, it glitched that mission. It glitched the mission out. It glitched that, and I cannot unlock that fast travel point. Every time I go back there to try to take the picture, and in the video you can see me raging about it. Like, I'll be raging about it tomorrow. But like, every time I go to the place, I can't take a picture. Like, I can't. It doesn't let me. So and I cannot fast travel there either, so it's permanently glitched. And then I had a second glitch. The second glitch that I encountered is those drug packages you have to pick up. There's like 125 of them. Like 2 of them got permanently glitched where I can't pick them up anymore. So I can pick up all the drug packages in the game, but 2 of them I can't pick up. Like I see them on the map, I go up to them and I can't pick them up. So like my game is now permanently glitched and I cannot get 100% completion in Saints Row Reboot. So that's like that is my experience with the Saints Row Reboot. And that's just that, and it's not good right now. Boot Hill Camp was interesting in the Saints Row Reboot, although it was only for one mission. They could have done a venture or something instead of LARPing. Yeah, well, that island, I'm assuming that's the island you're talking about, the horror Professor Genki thing. That would have been cool. Where is Marcel right now? What happened to Marcel? Did Marcel, like, go out on, like, a break or something? Like, it's like, I can't find Marcel now. Where is he?
He's right by
Oh, I don't see Marcel. Okay.
Huh.
Yeah. Looks like Marcel is done with Red Dead Online as well. He got off the game. He's tired of Rockstar not supporting the game anymore, too. Suing the boss. Oh, yeah, that was so stupid when they came in and then they said, like, the Saints are now property of, like, Marshall. That was so stupid. It's like, according to your contract. It's like you literally killed like hundreds of them. You got fired. So like once you get fired, the contract doesn't really apply anymore because you're not under their employment. If you're not under their employment, you cannot be subject to an employment contract if you're fired. It's like it's just that thing was so stupid. It was dumb. It was okay. Marcel's back.
Too.
Okay.
Au travail. Oh, as you wish, but it can be made to be cheaper, huh?
Okay, here we go.
This will be a little out of the ordinary, yes?
I think Atticus was a pretty cool villain for the most part, but I wish he had more appearances. But the story in the Saints Row Reboot would have been way better if like 3 gangs had different storylines, like in the old games. Not like one big. They basically pulled a Saints Row 3 where they did one big storyline instead of 3 separate storylines. Hello, Tamisha. Tamisha, thank you for the super chat. What's up, everyone? Hey, Tamisha, what's up? Thank you for the super chat. Yeah, I'm excited about the Modern Warfare 2 campaign. In March, my left leg started having complications, so I've been somewhat disabled since then, and I've had to stay home most of the time, and watching your videos have helped, been a big help. Well, thank you, Doom. I hope that you get better. Thank you, man. I'll play Red Dead Redemption 1 one day. No, I never got 100% in Red Dead Redemption 2. Did you get my message, professional? Where was your message, zombie? Hey, you're that guy that I recognize you. You're that guy that uploaded the video of me reacting to the new Saints Row. That was fine. I don't mind people uploading videos of me reacting to stuff. That's fine. I subscribed to your channel the other day.
Some of our latest batch onto the saloon. I hear it's very popular. Excusez-moi. The prices on the ingredients for the mash. C'est une catastrophe.
That'd be like if I got fired from my job, joined the Bloods, and then they tried to claim ownership of the Bloods. Makes no sense for a legit company to go and acquire a literal crime organization. Yeah, it made no sense. Do you think Warren, Donnie, Chicken Ned, Matt, Feed Dogs, Shogo Veteran, and Matt Miller would beat the Cringe Saints by themselves? I think so. Yeah. And, yeah, I think so. I will say, though, that one of the worst gangs in the Deckers, I think the Deckers kind of sucked as a gang in Saints Row 3, and I think the Luchadors also were bad. I liked the Morningstar in Saints Row 3, but I didn't like the Luchadors, and I didn't like the Deckers. Hope you play the Warriors soon. Well, thank you, Rogue Raccoon. I want to play that. I want to play that game one day. And what I will say is what I will say is that did you guys notice that like the neighborhood you start out in like Saints Row the reboot is like so forgettable? Like it's just boring. It's like the neighborhood Saints Row, the neighborhood Saints Row. In Saints Row 1 was like very like unique, and it was like, you know, it was the neighborhood that like you remembered, like it was like the hood. It was like the place, you know, where the Saints started out, and like when you went through like Saints Row, like you really felt like it was like kind of like a gang controlled neighborhood. Like, you know, it was like it was just not a good place. Like the Saints were just completely like taking advantage of the row, and it was just really poor, graffiti all over the place, gangs were just everywhere, and it was like you know, it had that gang feeling to it, like the Saints Row district. But like then the new district in like the new game, it's just like you don't even feel like the gangs are ever there. Like you'll see them walking up and down the street sometimes, but it's like you never feel like they're there. Chicken Ned is a hidden homie in Saints Row 1, by the way. Oh yes. And even virtual steel port. I think that what I will say is I actually think that Santo Alessa was a better city than Steelport. I know some people might disagree with me on that, but I felt like too many of the neighborhoods in like in Steelport were the same. Like it was just too similar, and they really didn't have any unique places. Where Santo Alessa, I guess, has some more unique places to visit, but Stillwater is still, you know, miles better than Santo Alessa. Where are we gonna go? Let's see. Go to Strawberry here. What's the worst gang in the reboot? The Marshals, the Idols, the Panteros, and Nawali's gang. I don't even know what Nawali's gang is called. What will be the worst gang? I would say probably the Idols. The Idols, like, make me cringe. And, like, all the gangs kind of make me cringe. It's like, Marshall is too futuristic. That's why I don't like them. The Panteros, while the Panteros are, it's Saints Row Reboot's version of the Brotherhood. The Panteros, like, it's like, some of their characters, like, you know that one big character you fight, like the boss? Like that boss battle you have against the Pantero like super enemy, and the boss enemy is like huge, and they're just a big bullet sponge. That's it. And also the Panteros leader Sergio is like a joke, and the Idols. The Idols, at least the Idols, their leaders are at least not cowards, and they're somewhat like, you somewhat fight them. But it's like, the gang itself, it's like the Idols, it's like they're wearing like basically like what's it called, like LED lights all over themselves. It is, I just didn't understand that. Will you ever play Black Ops with cosplay? Yes, I could do that one day again. Saints Row 2022 is just a chore to play. Angry Joe's review was spot on. It was more fun to watch his review than anything I did in-game. Huh. I agree with you, Fernando. I saw some of Angry Joe's review today. I didn't see his, I didn't see the review to the end. What did Angry Joe give the game? Well, what score did he give it? I'm curious. He probably gave it like a 5 out of 10, right? Like, that's probably what he would have given it. I can see Angry Joe. Angry Joe would probably be raging about a lot of the dialogue in it. I saw like a little bit of it, like the first few minutes, but it's 2 out of 10. He gave it a 2. Oh wow. Okay, I'm just losing my track of thought. Let me start up another mission here. Thank you, Fernando. Thank you, Josh. Hey Pro, back on your Watch Dogs Legion Bloodline playthrough, you said you might replay the main story as Aiden Pierce. Are you still planning on doing that in the future? Yes, Josh. I could do that in the future, and I'll dress up as Aiden Pierce, but I will do the Watch Dogs, the original Watch Dogs again one day first. Imagine a remake of Godfather 1. That's almost a dream, a good one. When will you play Godfather 2? What's gameplay difference between 1 and 2? Have you not played 2, Imperialist? But thank you for sponsoring my channel again. Godfather 2, the biggest difference between Godfather 2 and Godfather 1 is that in the Godfather 2, the map is multiple cities. Where Godfather 1, it's like one big New York. Where Godfather 2, you have New York, you have Miami, and then you have Havana. That's it. So that's like, you have 3 cities to explore. Also, Godfather 2 relies heavily on, like, a squad system. Like, you have your own squad, like, your own hit team with you. And, like, you upgrade them and give them new abilities. You know, there's one thing I never understood about the new Saints Row game. And, like, let me know if you guys agree with me on this. But what's the point of getting student loans if they are gonna be gangsters? Like, what's the point of that? Like, what's the point of even going to college if you, like, you're gonna be a multi-millionaire, like, a gangster? Like, you know what? I don't even understand the point of that. But it's like, and yes, part of the story is about student loans. It actually is mentioned in the game. So that's like, I don't understand that reasoning. I haven't played 2 yet. I played 1, and it's the best crime game I ever played, better than all the GTAs. I love the economy system in 1. And I think the economy system is even better than 2. You gotta check it out. But Saints Row 2 is such an awesome game, Imperialist. Thank you for the thank you for the super chat. They gonna pay rent. Imagine there's like an epilogue scene after the credits in like the Saints Row reboot, where their landlord asks them why they haven't paid rent still. That's like, that... You know, if the Saints Row developers were making the Spider-Man movies, like the old ones, like, half of the movie would be Mr. Ditkovich, like, asking about rent. That would be, like, half of the movie.
You'll get your rent when you fix this damn door.
Yeah, that's the one. I remember that. That's like the one of the most meme things in like Spider-Man 3. You get your rent when you fix this damn door. Like, people make fun of that scene all the time. The new Saints Row did a semester and a half at college, so they understand fruit, or you mean fraud? They understand being gangsters as a concept. Well, thank you, old school. Thank you for the super chat. There's really no point in them going to college if they're gonna be like, you know, multi-million gangsters. There actually is an NPC in like in Saints Row 2. There's actually an NPC that a lot of people say predicted Saints Row Reboot. And this is like, you know, 14 years ago. But there's one NPC, and the NPC is a saint. So it's like a saint NPC model. And she actually says, I joined the Saints to pay off my student loans. And so that was like a joke back then. That was like just making fun of it. It was just like a dumb joke. But like, you never thought that like the game would actually do something like that. Oh no. They love me, Peter Parker 2007. This quote is exactly me whenever people realize me from your comments and streams. That's the fame I only want. Well, thank you, Mr. Waifu. Thank you for the super chat. And I'll tell you that when Spider-Man 3 came out as a movie, I saw it when it first came out. And when it came out back in like 2007, when that movie first came out, like people hated like the Bully Maguire moments. Those were like the moments when he's like wearing the Venom suit, and Peter Parker is like very cringy in that scene, like very. And so it's just like people really hated that part. And then it's like years later, they turned it into a big meme with like the Bully Maguire thing, and it's just... Why did Rockstar cancel the GTA 4 remaster? Because they're stupid. That's pretty much the reason why. And this is the thing is, these comments that you've seen, when people say that, they say that, like, Rockstar knows what they're doing and they're doing what's good for business by abandoning Red Dead Online. Well, you can tell Rockstar has no idea what they're doing when it comes to business because of the fact that they abandoned the GTA 4 and Red Dead Redemption 1 remasters. I mean, it is technically a leak, but it's somewhat credible. It's somewhat believable. But basically, if Rockstar released a GTA 4 remaster, I guarantee you they would make a ton of money from that. Same thing if they released a Red Dead Redemption 1 remaster, they'd make a ton of money from it. The reason they're not releasing it is because they looked at what the GTA Definitive Edition got. But the thing is, though, the reason the GTA Definitive Edition did really poorly wasn't because because people didn't want a remaster. People wanted a remaster of the old GTA games. They did. It was that the fact that the remaster were bad. That's why. It wasn't that they didn't want remasters. Like if you look at it, 1 month before the GTA Definitive Edition came out, everybody was excited. Like 1 month before it came out, like I saw almost no negative comments. Everybody was happy. They wanted it. But then like when it was released, people saw the state of the game, the glitches, the bugs. That was the problem. Then at that point, sorry doesn't pay the rent. I remember that line too. Fun fact, Frank Lucas, American gangster, used college money to get into the heroin game. It's actually a thing. Also, I like your hat. Thank you for the super chat, Mr. Win. Well, I didn't know that. I know a little bit about Frank Lucas. I saw American Gangster like a long time ago. I remember Denzel Washington plays that. He did an amazing job as Frank Lucas. It's one of Denzel Washington's best performances ever. Okay, and guys, wait before we deliver him. Wait a few minutes. Here. How many people do we have in the posse right now?
I think we're full.
We're full. Okay. Pro, people don't want to see the 100% ending. Why? I know there's like people. I've read the comments and people have told me that there's like a secret ending when you build the Saints Tower, and so I have to see the ending. But like I'm really hoping it's not cringe. Like I'm really hoping it's not. Like please at least leave it on a good ending. It's just. I know the True Crime series, but I never played it. The Saints Tower costs like $8 million. I recorded buying all the business ventures, but I'm only at like $4 million. So I play for like a few hours, and I'll have the $8 million. And then when I buy the Saints Tower, I hope that I really hope it's not a bad cutscene. I'll have to see it for myself. Oh, I'm gonna do a review of the new Saints Row game. I'll review it. I will. I haven't reviewed a game in like 4 years. The last time I reviewed a game was Just Cause 4. So that was the last time. And my Just Cause 4 review actually got kind of popular. I would have to say, what is my Just... No, actually, Days Gone was actually the last game I reviewed, right? Days Gone. That was the last game I reviewed. Just Cause 4 review. Let's see. How much did it do? Let's see here. What is... Okay. Just Cause 4 reviews, almost 80,000 views. That's still decent. Oh, Ace Combat 7? No, I think it was no, I think it was Days Gone. I think it was Days Gone, the last game I reviewed. You've probably seen my comment, but would you do Kylo Ren, Rockstar kills Han Solo Red Dead Online, while Chewie, Finn, and Rey react, and Han Solo Red Dead Online falls? I could put that in as a meme for you if you want to see it in the yeah, I could put that in a documentary. I could do that. But it's but I might not have that scene in. If it's copyrighted, then I can't put it in. But I'll try to see if I can put that scene in for you. Thank you, gaming. Gaming for the super chat. I didn't even like that Star Wars movie though. By the way, I wasn't a big fan of the new movies. I didn't like them that much. Fool's Gold in 5 minutes. Okay, we might as well wait till the last minute then. If it's waiting, if we're waiting 5 minutes.
Exactly 4 minutes.
Do I think I'll ever play Fortnite? No, probably not. I'm just not. It's not a game for me. I'm not interested in it. Sorry. I can play with anyone in Red Dead Online. Yes, I could remake the Ace Combat 7 playthrough. I could dress up for it too. Red Dead Online documentary be on Sunday. Red Dead Online documentary be on Sunday, Isaiah. And also, but the Saints Row reboot, there is not a lot of sad and dark moments in it as Saints Row 2. Oh yes, you know something? The only sad moment that you actually have in the entire Saints Row, in all of Saints Row 2, I mean Saints Row 2022, the only actual like emotional moment that you have in that whole like story is with Nina's car. That was like the only emotional moment really in the game, like the only one. That's it. There was nothing else really that was that emotional in that story. When those cringy saints got their money from robbing the train to pay their student loans, the first thing they want to do is money fight. Yeah, money fight. That was just that was so bad. Like I said, they're gonna have a slumber party next, so it's. Okay. And thank you, Patrick, for sponsoring my channel again. Yes, and I still have to upload the Sniper Elite 5 DLC mission. I never did that. I was just so busy with a lot of other things, so I'm sorry for that, guys.
Sorry.
Would I ever play Red Dead Redemption 2 story mode again? Yes, I could. Would I like to be a game developer? I don't know. I don't think so. If anything, I might be like a guy that creates ideas for like these games, but not necessarily the guy that like, you know, codes stuff. Like I might be the guy that comes up with updates and stuff like that. Like I actually have really good ideas for updates. Yeah, that. And it's also like the fact that, oh, we got a moonshine business here, moonshine mission here. It's also the fact that like people like from corporate will like come in and they'll try to dictate to you what you can and can't do. And so like when I have a vision, I don't want anybody else telling me what I can and can't do.
Nothing doing here. Hey! I done found them! Whoa!
Oh no, okay. I guess we're going loud then. No, the watermelon. They shot the watermelon. SpongeBob is such a great show that like you can meme SpongeBob so much. Like there's so many things you can meme SpongeBob with.
Just spawn after we done with this.
The Saints Row reboot, I think, is gonna get story DLC. Curious what it's gonna be. Yeah, thank you, bro, for sponsoring my channel again. You know what open world game I gotta do also, guys? I gotta place, oh, a Fool's Gold here. Let's join that. I gotta do the Saboteur. Anyone know the Saboteur here? I'm sure there's at least one person who's played it. I gotta do the Saboteur, one day on the channel. The Saboteur is actually an open world game, and it takes place in German-occupied France during World War II, where you actually play as, like, a freedom fighter. And so it's a really cool game. It's a very unique setting. It's the only
Saboteur game you haven't played.
The Saboteur is the only open world World War II game I think is out there. I can't think of any other open world World War II games. So that's like that. But I gotta play the Saboteur one day. That was a great game.
Don't forget, there's another open world game you
that was my first platinum trophy
ever.
ever. Thoughts on song lyrics being used in court cases? I think it's a bit ridiculous. Like, it's one thing, it's like, if somebody, like, you know, says, like, a few lyrics of the song, I don't see a big deal in that. And also, like, how are you supposed to review songs if you can't even discuss the lyrics in the songs? So that's just,
Another open world game you kind of didn't play for quite a long time.
Good shot, Tyler. Damn, I wish I had my Springfield Rifle right now. Okay, good work, guys.
I bet there's another open world game you haven't played for quite a while.
Wow, good job, guys. Good job. Hey, Pro, can I join you? I need help getting the collector and leveling up. Sure, Eric. Do I have you added? By the way? Hey, Pro, how are you? I've been watching your GTA gameplays, and then I gotta binge your Ace Attorney series next. Thank you, Phoenix Wright. And Phoenix Wright, you'll be happy to know that one day I will do the, I'll play the Phoenix Wright trilogy one day on the channel. I don't know when, but I'll do that on the channel one day.
Most of them is low level.
Wow, good job, guys. Doing really good. I wish I could have my Springfield Rifle. Let's have the bolt action with me instead.
Hear that part? They are low levels.
I really hope this isn't the end of Saints Row. I really hope it's not.
Jeez.
Oh, wow, okay, you got me there, good.
Most of
The
these are
Hitman
low
trilogy?
levels.
You mean like Hitman 1 through 3? I like them for the most part. Red Dead Online, I'll tell you this. Red Dead Online is a fun game to play with friends, but I'll tell you, if I was playing this by myself, I'd be bored out of my mind. So I'm not gonna lie to you guys about that. But it's not even the fault of Red Dead Online. It's the fault of the developer, because this game would be more fun if it had content, but it doesn't have content. And that's the problem. What? How is he still alive? What? Okay, that was... Oh no. Damn, shotgun again. Okay, but I have you added, Eric. Eric, if I have you added, and you don't have to super chat. Again, I appreciate the super chat, Eric. But just let me know in the comments. I have you added, right? You're saying yes. I see your PSN there. Eric. After this, just join my session after this, Eric. And
This one guy's
join my
falling down,
session,
right?
and I'll see if there's a spot in the posse for you. Yes, Scarface is probably my favorite gangster movie of all time. And I like Scarface so much because he starts out with nothing at the beginning of the movie. And so that's why I like it. A lot of other movies, like gangsters, will have their criminal empires mostly built. But like Scarface, he starts out the movie with nothing. Okay, good work, guys. Yeah, I don't think they're gonna be able to pass us.
No, because they're low levels. Some of them are.
I'm in. You passed me. Oh, are you in my posse? Wait, what? You're in the session? Okay. We'll take a look after this. I'm gonna try to use that ability card of dual wielding in the future now. Ah, damn, I was... Aw, oh, man. He got me good there. How is the pit in Fallout 76? Is it good?
Oh.
I did want to replay the game to, you know, get to that, because I really did like the pit DLC in Fallout 3. I remember when that first came out. I bought it when it first came out, too. And... Oh, wow, okay. It's about to kill him, too. I only have the Trader, Bounty, Hunter, and Moonshine. Okay, do you have the Collector Bag? Because you need the Collector Bag, though. I'm a new subscriber and love how you cosplay the game you play. It shows how much you love the game you play. I also really like your videos. And what is the Music Mafia you keep mentioning? The Music Mafia is basically, the Music Mafia is a bunch of greedy companies on YouTube that the second that they have a few seconds of their song in any YouTube video, they'll claim that video like crazy, and they'll try to take credit for the video when the video is not theirs. It does not belong to them at all, and they'll try to take the video from the person. That's what the Music Mafia is. It's a bunch of greedy music companies. Because what happens on YouTube is, if you want to know how bad the copyright abuse actually is, the copyright abuse is so bad that they only need a few seconds of their song in your video, and they can take the whole video. And what I mean by taking the whole video, all the ad revenue from that video then goes to the music company. So you could have like 10 seconds of a song playing, and they'll take like an hour-long video just from that. And if you want to know how bad this is, I uploaded an 11-hour video back in November of 2019, and it was Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. I played the entire story of Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, the entire story from start to finish, and literally, I had to edit the whole video, I had to put the whole thing together, 11-hour video I put out, and literally that 11-hour video, there was 11 seconds in an 11-hour video of Star Wars music in a Star Wars game, and UMG claimed me over that. They took the entire video, the entire 11-hour video over 11 seconds. That's literally what they did, and that's just how bad it is. That's what the Music Mafia is. So that's the term that I coined, the Music Mafia, to describe these people, because that's what I see them as, pretty much. Because in my opinion, what they're doing is a form of extortion. Literally, they're coming to your channel, and like they're literally taking your entire video over nonsense. Over just you play a video game, their songs for a few seconds, and they take your video. I can understand them being able to take videos if people are uploading full songs, but I'm not doing that. And I'm not the only one that deals with this stuff on a regular basis. But also, thank you for subscribing to me, Orion. But Orion, let me ask you. You said you subscribed to my channel recently. How did you find my channel? What video was it first, if you remember? I'm just curious on that. Are you in the session, by the way, Eric? Best GTA game subbed and liked. The best GTA game for me is GTA 4. I like the New York setting, and I like the dark criminal environment in that one. And there's this guy I like called Infinite the Everlasting. He makes his music like Sonic, Devil May Cry, yada yada, and his work is incredible. Do you think he's in danger? Probably not, Orion, because a lot of video game soundtracks are not copyrighted. At least most aren't. Like if you notice, like I upload a lot of video game soundtracks in my playthroughs. Like at the end of my playthrough, like the last 30 seconds, usually like a song from the game that's not copyrighted. So you know, for the most part, that should be fine. But there are some music companies that will go after and like claim, and they'll claim stuff. Like and the only reasonable company that I ever dealt with, the only reasonable company is who makes the Dark Pictures games? The Dark Pictures games, I'm trying to remember. The people who made, like, Man of Medan and Little Hope and House of Ashes, like, those people. I actually contacted the developer directly, and they responded to me, and they removed the claims. Because what happened was they claimed, like, my Little Hope playthrough, and I was pissed. Like, and they didn't even claim my Little Hope playthrough on music. They claimed it on cutscenes. They claimed cutscenes in a game that I was playing, and I literally said when I sent them a message on Twitter, and they actually replied to me on Twitter, the developers' official Twitter. But I said to them that I play your game, and I'm showing your game on my channel to my fans, and I'm giving your game praise because I'm having a lot of fun with your game, and yet you're claiming me even though I'm giving your game praise and I'm enjoying it. Like, what's the deal here? Are you gonna remove these claims or what? And basically what happened was they replied to me like a day or two later, like, sorry sir, we apologize for that, and they told me it was like an automatic bot system or something like that, and they removed the claims. So that's like the only company that I've actually dealt with that actually removed the claims. Like all the other ones never removed the claims. Hello there, been loving your stuff that you do, but I will say this, your video of starting a channel gave me inspiration to start one and become one. Thank you so much for everything and being you. Well, thank you, Retro Completionist. Thank you, man. Thank you for the super chat. And did you draw that avatar too? I like it. Thank you, man, for the super chat. Biggest super chat today from Retro. Thanks, Retro. I can't believe they would claim your videos as for 2 to 4 seconds of copyright music, and that is wrong for them to do that. I don't think they can claim you for 2 seconds of copyright music anymore. I think the minimum is 10 seconds, but even 10 seconds is just, that's too little to, Well, thank you, Retro. Okay. Let me, does anyone need to sell anything, by the way, my posse? Anyone need to sell, like, a moonshine, a trader? Anything you guys need to sell, get rid of?
I think I have a moonshine, but I need to check.
Okay, let me disband the posse, then. As for your question, my best friend, Topaz Jolt, the electricity a pony recommended it. He was watching for a few months and thought I might like it, and I do. Oh, okay. Well, thank you, Orion. Thank you for the super chat. I mean, thank you for the comment. I got claimed for 3 seconds on a 4-hour stream. Was this recent? Did I like Watch Dogs Legion? For the most part, I did enjoy Watch Dogs Legion, and I thought it had a cool setting of London. But Watch Dogs Legion Online, I was really hoping that it would become GTA's competitor, like the online. Like, I know it wasn't going to take on GTA and overtake GTA, but I was really hoping that Watch Dogs Legion multiplayer would have more people, like it would get more support, but they just abandoned it. That's what's disappointing. Reddit Online got a small update. It got an update with Telegram missions, that's it. My favorite gun in Reddit Online, I would say, is probably the Springfield Rifle. The Springfield Rifle or the bolt-action rifle. Also, this is, I'll tell you something, the Springfield Rifle, this is actually called the Springfield Krag in real life. So they're both Springfield rifles, and this actually was the U.S.'s standard issue rifle for a few years, and then it was actually it didn't last long in the U.S. military. It was replaced by the Springfield 1903 shortly afterwards. But the thing about this rifle is this is the weirdest bolt action rifle that I have ever seen, and not necessarily weird in like a bad way. But the reason that this gun is actually so weird, it's very different than any other bolt-action rifle that I've seen. Let me clean this here. I gotta clean this here. Clean? Yeah, cleaning here. Yeah, I can do more crazy current events. So basically, the reason this bolt-action rifle is such a strange design to me, because I've never seen a mechanism like it, but basically, you see that, like, little, right after the bolt, that, like, little latch right there? That latch actually opens up, and so this rifle you can actually load the entire rifle without cycling the bolt. But to load the first round into the gun, you have to cycle the bolt. But technically, you could have all the rounds in the rifle without opening up the bolt. And that's a very strange design. It's just like a little drop box, and I've never seen something like that. It was, like, a very weird, like, design. But it works. It wasn't like a bad rifle by any means. It worked. And the bolt is actually very smooth, but it was like I said, it was a weird design. But if you look at the reload, when he reloads it, he's dropping the rounds in that little like box kind of like area, and so that's why it's like a weird design and like a bolt action. But that's like it's called the Springfield Krag if you want to look it up. That's what that rifle is called. Springfield Krag's Krag. Can you do more current event videos, murder stories? I don't know if murder stories is something that I would, like, do videos on. Like, it's kind of controversial, and I don't want to, talk about stuff like that. Usually when I do those crazy current event stuffs, I talk about, like, dumb people, like a Karen, like, doing something stupid, or, like, some stupid law that got passed, like, something like that, typically. If you want to know murder mystery games, is that what you're talking about? I could play more of those, because I actually typically do enjoy those games. Thank you, Wolf Killa, for the super chat. Hi, Pro. Fellow Fallout 76 Wastelander here, and I'd say the Pit DLC is really worth giving a try. I really enjoy it. It's definitely recommended it with friends. They know what they're doing. Is it like a new map? Is it like a new map, No Winged Angel? Like, how does it work exactly? Thank you for the super chat. My 3 favorite guns in GTA 5, the heavy rifle, the Scar assault rifle. Is that the heavy rifle? I can't even remember the GTA guns names. the anti-material rifle, and then the assault shotgun. Do I consider myself the king of GTA grinders? Oh, no. No, I just, I grinded to $1 billion. I don't consider myself, like, a king of anything by any means. Trio, do you have your moonshine, by the way?
Oh, no, it's not full up yet. I'm good.
Okay. Okay, let's do a telegram mission, but, I'm gonna need 4 people, because we can only do it with 4 people. I open up the posse again if anyone wants to join. Yeah, a lot of the adversary modes are pretty bad. Springfield Technical Community College took over the property of one of the buildings functioning as Springfield Armory Museum. Feel free to drop by for a visit. Where is that museum? I like your shirt. Thank you. It's the Saints Row shirt that I had. What's the documentary about? The documentary is about it is about Red Dead Online, and it's gonna be more about why the failure of Red Dead Online is Rockstar's fault and not the fans' fault. And in that video, that documentary, I'm gonna cover why when Red Dead Online fell apart, like that whole argument that people make saying that it's good for business that Rockstar abandoned Red Dead Online for GTA. I'm gonna counter that entire point and prove that point wrong, and why Red Dead Online was actually profitable to develop. Oh yeah, Bad Company, I'll definitely do a playthrough of. Hey Pro, why is Don Salieri okay with Tommy Angelo killing the US lawmaker that could maybe endanger the family, but not okay with Tom robbing the bank and asking Tom to share the money? Had he asked or sanctioned? It's stupid. Basically, you're right, that killing the politician was actually stupid in the Mafia Definitive Edition. That was actually dumb. And the thing is, though, is, how many people I got in the posse right now? Let's see. Okay, we got 4 people. Okay, we'll do the telegram mission then. Okay, this one, Strong Medicine. But anyways, Toyota, thank you for the super chat. The Mafia, for instance, they don't really do car bombs anymore. Like, the Mafia used to do car bombs. I'm not saying it doesn't happen anymore, but it's not as common as it used to be. Like, you know, back in the 20s and 30s, you would constantly hear about, like, Mafia car bombings and stuff like that. The reason that car bombs, like, the Mafia doesn't do that anymore is because they don't know if the person, who's gonna get in that vehicle. You know, it could be somebody else linked to the person, but also on top of that is, you know, an explosion is gonna, like, you know, there's gonna be shrapnel, there's gonna be, like, parts of it flying around everywhere that could hit somebody else, and the Mafia doesn't really care if it hurts somebody else, but causing an explosion, like, imagine somebody gets into a car and blows up, their car blows up in, like, downtown, like, you know, or somebody gets shot in the back of the head in, like, a club. You know, which one is more likely to get more media and police attention? The guy who gets shot in the nightclub in the back of the head, or the guy who gets blown up in, like, downtown in his car? I think the guy who gets blown up. That's precisely why the Mafia doesn't do that anymore. That's why they don't do car bombings, because it attracts too much attention. You know, the typical Mafia execution these days is just 2 shots to the back of the head. They just walk up and just shoot the person with a handgun, typically in the back of the head. That's the reason they use 2 shots is to make sure the second shot kills the person. That's it generally. But, and also to answer the other part of your question, you know, killing a politician is like, you know, the Mafia, that's gonna get so much attention on them. But, the other part of your question, when you asked me about, why does Salieri go after you for robbing the bank? The reason Salieri goes after you is because you robbed the bank without his permission, and you didn't give him a cut. Like, Polly and Tommy were gonna take the cut for themselves. However, though, typically that's a big no. Typically, like, and this is what a lot of people don't understand, is that criminals are allowed to have their own businesses. Typically, when they're in a mafia organization, typically criminals are allowed to have their own illegal activities on the side, like apart from the main mafia thing. However, though, if they have some kind of side business, that's typically fine, but they have to give the boss a cut. If they don't give a boss a cut, that's almost always death. Almost always death. Even if it's not a big amount that they're making, if they don't give the boss a cut, it's almost always death. And so that's basically why Salieri tried to kill Tommy and had Polly killed, because of the fact that Tommy didn't give him a cut. However, though, Tommy was actually justified in what he did. Tommy was justified in not giving Salieri a cut. Now, a lot of people say that Tommy betrayed Salieri, but I don't see it that way. I see it more as Salieri betrayed Tommy. That's the way I see it, more of it. Because when you really think about it, like, Tommy and Polly almost died on that shipment. And well, I'm trying to remember what was in the shipment. In the original Mafia game, they weren't cigars, but they were diamonds. I think they were, right? And in the Mafia Definitive Edition, I think it was heroin that was actually there. Correct me if I'm wrong, but it was a little bit different. And so they were actually moving something that could have gotten them killed easily. The boss didn't tell them about it, and the boss didn't pay them a fair cut. Like, the boss lied to them about what was actually in the cigars. Okay. Okay. I got them both. Free aim, too. A little bit of assisted aim, but mostly free aim still. Well, thank you, Josh. It was it was heroin. But somebody let me know in the comments down below. I'm sure somebody knows what I'm talking about. In the original Mafia game, in the original one, it was diamonds, right? Instead of in the cigars. And then in the Definitive Edition, what was it in the Definitive Edition? In the Definitive Edition, instead of diamonds, I think it was heroin. They changed that. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong on that. But it's that's what I remember. That mission was completely different in the Definitive Edition. Again, wanted to thank you for giving me inspiration to become a content creator like yourself. Any more advice or tips? I would love to hear. Thanks for being you. Thank you, Retro. And the best tip that I can give you is to always be yourself, and to don't put on a personality. Like, I don't put on a personality. It's like a lot of people, like, you know, I've seen people that complain, like, on my channel, and they sometimes say, oh, you're not funny, you don't make jokes and stuff like that. Well, the thing is, though, is that I'm not gonna laugh at something I don't find funny. Take out the patrol or let them pass. Let them pass then. But if I don't find something funny, I'm not gonna laugh at it. So I am myself, and I'm not gonna put on a personality and, like, pretend to be somebody that I'm not. But, like, a lot of YouTubers, like, they constantly put on this Joker personality where they're constantly, like, laughing and making stupid jokes and stuff like that, and they're doing that mainly for views. They're not being themselves. Like, I doubt that person is like that, you know, off camera. So it's just, that the way I am on camera and the way I am off camera is pretty much the exact same thing. And I don't even really curse off camera either. So that's that.
Okay, come on now. Keep up.
It's a new map for missions only outside main map in West Virginia. It's very linear inside of limitations, unfortunately, but overall really fun. Oh, okay. I saw the trailer, though, that Raider with the chainsaw. Like, that was kind of cool. But what I will say is that I hope that Fallout 76 eventually lets you play as, like, a super mutant or as, like, a ghoul. I really hope they eventually let you do that, because I think that'd be really cool and would add so much more variety to that game. But if they added a super mutant, they would have to rework so much of the stuff in the game if you could play as a super mutant.
Up here. Come on, man. Take them out together.
Take out the enemies at the stable. Okay, okay. Okay, are you guys here?
Yes.
Okay, hang on, The two guys, he says to take them out together, so I'm assuming if you take them out together, there's not going to be... Oh, they've been spotted, never mind. Let me go get my tomahawk back, too. You have alerted the enemies, your reward will be less. Oh. Thank you, No Winged Angel, and thank you, Onyx. Do you think we will get a new Red Dead DLC after GTA 6 releases? No, Red Dead Online is done. I'm sorry, Onyx. I don't think that's done. I don't think that it's I think Red Dead Online is done. Well, a lot of gangsters are like that, where they you know, they're not necessarily evil people, but they, you know, they want to make something, and then eventually, you know, they get used to that lifestyle, and they see the money coming in, and they just don't care anymore at that point. In the original Mafia, it was diamonds, yes. And then in the Definitive Edition, what was the difference in the Definitive Edition? The Definitive Edition is heroin, yes. Okay, so it was different on that. Yes, so basically Salieri brought it on himself. Like it was the thing is though, is that I personally don't think Tommy should have ratted out the other people in the gang, because they didn't really cause him problems, like Luca, but it was, Salieri definitely deserved it. Salieri definitely deserved to get ratted out. But it was probably to get a deal for his family. That's probably ultimately why Tommy did what he did. I still can't believe he hit 1 million. Well, thank you, Eric. Take out the enemies in the saloon. Hey, Aussie guy. Hey, man. Thank you for sponsoring my channel again.
I'll make you suffer, you bastard!
Oh, what the? I can't believe this is the only DLC we got for this game. It's just like 3 missions, and that was it. After like a year, no content. I hated the ending for Saints Row 2022, but was it as bad as you thought? Thank you, Saint. Thank you for the super chat. Some of the activities in the game were fun. I did have some fun with the game, but there's massive cringe, and it just, I don't know. The ending definitely was bad. Do you at times find it hard to believe you hit 1 million? I do, Eric. You have alerted the enemies. What? How? Okay, where are we going to with this wagon here? The story is 60 hours long. In what? What game? Got him. Okay, where are we taking this to? Oh, it's nearby. Well, it's right near John Marston's house. My teacher called me a pathetic for not being able to bench the bar in gym class. Everyone was laughing at me. I wanted to... Your teacher is a piece of crap, I'm sorry to say. Like, that's... Your teacher is a terrible person. That's... What kind of teacher is this? This teacher needs to be fired. Like, this is... Have some serious disciplinary action. Like, that's... I'm assuming this is your gym teacher? Like, your gym teacher is supposed to encourage you, inspire you, not put you down. That just pisses me off. My God, that's what a psycho teacher. Don't feel bad about it. And look, the people that are laughing in your class are idiots as well. You know, don't pay attention to those people. Everyone starts out at some point. Like, I'll tell you something. Like, right now, I can personally bench like 135 pounds, but like a year ago, I struggled to pick up like 20-pound dumbbells. Like, it was just, you know, like I did bad. Like I was not strong at all. Like I'm much better now. And even in like, even like trying to pick up, and like on a bar itself. Like, I struggled with, like, 100 pounds, like, a year ago. Like, even less than that. So I'm, like, in a much better state now. But it's, like I was, I kept working out and, I pushed myself. And I wouldn't say that I'm buff. But I would say that I guess I'm a little bit better than what I was at one point. But, like, everyone starts out at some point. And, like, everyone starts out somewhere. Like, even the strongest people in the world weren't strong at one point. So it's just, your teacher's an idiot. And if I was you... what I would do is I would go down to the counselors, and I would tell the counselors what your teacher literally said, like how your teacher made fun of you. And I'm assuming this is a big class of students that you're in. You said that people were laughing at you. I'm assuming this is like a decently sized like gym class. If there probably was some people that weren't laughing. I don't want to assume, but what I would do is I would try to get witnesses. So any kind of witnesses that you have, anybody that you know have your back. Have that person go down to the counselor's office with you as a witness, and have them also tell the counselors what you saw this teacher say to you. Like, report that teacher, complain. Tell your parents also, because that's unacceptable. Like, a teacher making fun of you for not being able to lift a weight. That's just, that just pisses me off. So I would report that teacher. Oh, can you guys hear me? Does my mic sound good? Can you guys hear me now? Okay, I don't know, I don't know what's wrong with my, mic, but I don't know how much you guys heard before I got cut off, but like I said, like, your teacher should not be making fun of you. And I'm assuming that there's more people in this class, that this is like a decently sized class, and that there are some people that probably weren't laughing. So, like, get a witness, get like somebody in that class and you have your back and go down to the counselor's office and complain about this teacher. Tell your parents too, because that is unacceptable that a teacher does that to a student. That's completely unacceptable. Ow, there. Hey Pat, how's your day going? My day's going good, Sebi. How are you, man? I'm thinking about moving to Ohio because it's cheaper and the tax rate is not bad either. Where are you right now? What state, Jameer, if you mind me asking? What do you like better, Saints Row 3 or the new Saints Row? Saints Row 3. I think this game was at least better than Saints Row 4. I think Saints Row 4 is the worst one in the series because Saints Row 4 is the only Saints Row game that didn't have gangs. So that's why at least I think the reboot's better in that regard, but not by much. My teacher accused me of taking drugs when in fact I was hiding from everyone due to my crippling anxiety. We told the head teacher and went to many meetings only to be kicked out. What? My God, that's horrible. I'm sorry that you went through that. You know, I'll tell you guys a story. I had a really stupid teacher when I was in middle school. Some of you guys might have heard this story, but when I was in middle school, and this happened, how many years ago did this happen? This happened in 2007, so this was, you know, this was about 15 years ago when this happened. And this actually happened right around September 2007. So this is, yeah, this happened right around that time. But basically what happened was, I had a class, I think it was called Home Economics. It was like a class where you learned cooking and like sewing and like other stuff. And about home economics, I think that's what the class is called, correct me if I'm wrong. Basically, I had an assignment to write. Like I had an assignment to make. And basically this assignment that I had to make, I couldn't type the assignment because I didn't have my computer with me because we just moved. Because what happened was I lived in the city, and so my parents moved, we moved to the suburbs, and I was attending the suburban school. And what happened was, because I didn't have a printer, I didn't have access to the I didn't have a library card, I didn't have access to the computer lab at the school, and I told the teacher, I told her that I don't have a printer. Like, I don't have a way to type this up. I don't have a way to deal with this right now. And she just kept telling me that it's my responsibility. And like I told her, there's no way for me to print it. I wasn't trying not to do the assignment. I told her I was still gonna do the assignment, but I was gonna do it handwritten. Like because I had no printer. Like my printer was still at my other house. We just moved in, and so we had to get my computer and stuff over here. And so I ended up, this entire assignment, I ended up handwriting it, which was much harder. And my writing was not bad. My writing was good. You could read my writing, no problem. And so I was supposed to write like 2 or 3 pages, and I ended up writing like 5 pages on loose leaf. So I wrote like a decent amount, 5 or 6 pages, somewhere around there. But I know the amount of, and I did not double space or anything on the loose leaf. So it was like I wrote everything like, you know, together, and I wrote the entire assignment. I did more. I'm pretty sure it was more than computer paper like that. Just the amount that I wrote. But anyways, I clearly did the assignment. I did the assignment. And what happened was when I tried to hand in the assignment to her, I tried to give it to her, and she told me I'm not taking it. And I'm like, what do you mean you're not taking it? She's like, I told you to type it up. And I told her, I'm like, I told you I don't have my printer with me. I don't have my computer with me. That's your responsibility, blah, blah, blah. And I told her I did the assignment. She's like, no, you didn't do the assignment. I'm like, here, take it. She's like, I'm not going to take it. You didn't complete the assignment. You didn't type it. And I was like, oh my God. I was like, literally, it was like one of the most unreasonable teachers that I ever dealt with. It was so stupid. Like, she was being so unreasonable to me, like, over it. And literally, the story gets even worse because she gave me a 0. She gave me a 0. She wouldn't take it. I literally spent all the previous night, like, writing up this huge assignment for her. She gave me a 0 for it. It pissed me off. And then what happened was, the story gets worse. She called my house. She called my house and she told my mom that I didn't complete the assignment and that she gave me a 0. So she called my mom too. It was just so stupid. And my mom knew about the whole situation. Like, I told my mom about what happened beforehand, before she even called. I didn't think she was gonna call my house too, but I told my mom like about what was happening. My mom was pissed, and so that was just it. but it was just a really stupid situation and a really it's fine. It was just a really unreasonable teacher, and that was just that. But that same teacher. That same teacher, I remember she when we had to take a career test, and then after we took a career test, we had to write a paper later on in the class about this is finally when I had my printer. We had to write a paper about this was about what we wanted to be when we're older, like what our job is. We were like, this is 8th grade. So and what ended up happening was I wrote that I wanted to be a detective, possibly. And one of my students in my class, he wrote a story about how he wanted to be like a professional baseball player, and she actually told him that he can't do that. She said because like the chances of you being a baseball player are so slim, you need to choose a more realistic job. That's what she was telling him. And like that pissed me off too, because it's like, how do you know he's not going to be a professional player? You don't know that. Like she's saying it's not a realistic job. Okay, most people don't become professional baseball players, but you don't know. He could become a professional. You don't know that. Like, who are you to judge? And so that honestly, that pissed me off as well too. It's like I didn't think, like when I was in 8th grade, I didn't think I was going to be a YouTuber with over 1 million subscribers. But here I am. So you never know where people are going to be. So you can't tell people that like, oh, you choose a more realistic job. If he wants to write a paper about being a professional baseball player, you let him write a paper about being a professional baseball player. It's as simple as that. It's just dumb teachers. Thank you, Thomas, for the super chat. When I was in grade 11 high school, I took English for the summer and we did our exam. My teacher threatened me because I was using a pencil, not a pen. What? What the hell? Usually teachers want you to write in pencil, not in pen. Damn, that's a psycho teacher. I hope that you reported that. This was in 8th grade ever, so this is like, 2007 when this stuff happened. Only assignment I got a 0 on was a coding project because I used the wrong Java version. At least that made sense though, because what I turned in didn't run at all on the grader's computer. Oh, okay, Diego. But well, but something is about that 0 that I got, like from that class, that's bothered me. Like it's 15 years later and it's still like bothered me at times, like just thinking about that. Because it's like I always handed in everything on time. I wasn't late. I did my schoolwork, and just have a 0 like that for something that was totally out of my control. It was just it just bothered me. I don't know how I can explain it. It's like I just feel it just bothered me, and it just irritated me even to this day that like I got a 0 for something that wasn't my fault. I know it's pointless now today, but it still bothers me to this day, and it's just it was but I also got a second. There was only 2 times in my life I ever got a 0 on an assignment. It was that first time in the in that home economics class, and then the second time I got a 0, it was on the it was in college. It was in a lab class, and the professor that I had was very unreasonable. And basically, what happened was, we were in groups of 2 in that class, so we were working groups of 2. What just happened there? We would have assignments to do, and so how it would work is that one group member would do half the assignment, the other group member would do the other half of the assignment, and then you would share it with your other group member, and then you would compare and contrast, and you would share your research with the other group member, and then you would put it together into one assignment. And basically what happened was this guy that I was partnered with in the lab class, he was sick for like a few days or absent. I don't know what the excuse was, but according to him, he was sick. He was he was absent for a few days, and so I did the majority of the work, but there was still some work left to do. And then he told me that he's been out for some time, and that he's gonna do the rest of the assignment. And he told me, he's like, hey, give me your part of the assignment, and I'll put it together. And then I will hand it in together. And I said, okay, fine, no problem. And so I gave him my work that I did. And do you know what happened? He never came back to class. He dropped the class. And so he never gave me back the assignment. He didn't even come into class to give me my assignment. He took my assignment. And the thing about this, the worst part about this story is that what I say, typically this sounds like an excuse in class. Typically this is something that like somebody would make up and lie about or say that like, oh, my group member took my paper. But this actually happened. And what happened was, the worst part about the story, my professor saw the work that I did, and he saw me give it to him. So he knows that I did the assignment. There was no reason he didn't know. He knew that I did the assignment. And what ended up happening was, he gave me a 0. And I tried to explain it to him, and he's like, well, you shouldn't have given it to him. You shouldn't have trusted him. That's what my teacher started saying. He's like, Patrick, do you know what your problem is in life? Hey, you trust people too much. That's what he said to me. He literally said that to me in front of the class. And so he embarrassed me in front of the class over that, and he gave me a 0. And that was it. Like, that guy was, a-hole. Like, that was just, it. It was just stupid professor that I had. But that's it. Pro, to answer your question, I live in Pennsylvania. Taxes here are crazy. Well, taxes are pretty high in Pennsylvania, but wait till you see New York. New York's a different story, though. In one of my classes, one of the students got in trouble for playing GTA when the image showed up on the loading screen. Well, what? Playing on what? PSP or what? Phone? Okay. But thank you for the super chat, buddy. Oh, I'm sorry if I didn't see your super chat. Let me see here. I dealt with a bunch of a-hole students in high school. Yeah, but the thing is, the biggest a-holes that I dealt with were in college. They weren't even in the other students that I dealt with. They were in college. Yes, my name is Patrick. I understand there's a lot of messages. Where did you send me this message, Zombie Gaming? What is this, a comment? What was this? Let me see. I'm gonna see if I can find your... You became a professional gaming lore guy. Oh, I see some of your comments up here, Zombie. Let's see. Do you want a new Wild West Red Dead Redemption game? Do you want Rockstar to try a new historical time period after the Wild West, but not be too close to the modern day? Yes. The perfect setting is the 1920s. That is the perfect setting. And they should call it, if they do a game in the 1920s, it shouldn't be called Red Dead Redemption 3. Maybe it should be called a new title, but it could be in the same Red Dead universe. That's what they could have. And they could have some of the Red Dead characters come back in the 1920s. But they could do like Chicago in the 1920s and like have like during Prohibition and like bootlegging and like Mafia wars and stuff like that. That's what they could do. And Jack Marston could be the protagonist. Like, Jack Marston goes to Chicago, starts working for like the Mafia or something like that. I could see that being a game. I got my first job this summer at Star Market, and working customer experience was so tiring. I hear you. I know that, yeah. I worked in customer service for 6 years. It was not a fun experience. What would you think of Jack Marston fighting in World War I? Well, what I'll say about Jack Marston fighting in World War I is Jack Marston could have possibly like avoided like the draft in World War I, because the U.S. didn't enter World War I until April 1917, so the war only lasted for a year and a half more after the U.S. entered it. Basically, is the reason Jack might have avoided the draft is because Jack is not registered anywhere. When you really think about it, Jack grew up in the Wild West, so Jack probably does not even have a birth certificate. He probably doesn't. So there's really no record of him. So Jack was born to like an outlaw gang in the Wild West, and there's no record of him. So the U.S. government really would not know who he is, so he wouldn't get a draft letter or anything like that. So there's a huge possibility that he might avoid the draft just because of that, because they don't even know he exists. So that's like that. Working a 4 a.m. shift until 1 p.m. is very tiring. Yes. Oh yeah, that is. Do I still want to be a cop pro? No, not really. No, I didn't want to be a cop for years now. And the reason I don't want to be like a police officer like anymore is because it's just, I don't feel like it's worth it anymore. Honestly, it was just, the pay isn't the pay. It depends, obviously, where you're a cop, but a lot of times the pay isn't good. It's stressful, like hours. Like also, it's the unpredictability of it. Is you don't know what could happen. The thing is though, is I remember my professor, like he once said, he was a DEA agent because I graduated in law enforcement technology in college. But my professor, he was a DEA agent. He said the best part about law enforcement is that every day is not the same. That it's a unique experience every day. That's what he said. But he also said the worst part about being in law enforcement is that you don't know what's going to happen. That's also the worst part. And what he means by that is that your day could be perfectly fine, or it could be absolute hell on earth. So something really bad can happen. Is that a lot of times people don't understand how dangerous it can be to be a police officer. A lot of times things can get out of control really quickly. Like a traffic stop could turn deadly. You could pull somebody over. They could shoot at you. You never know what state of mind somebody is when you pull them over. And not even that. It's like the scariest phone call that you can get one of the scariest phone calls you can get as a police officer is domestic disturbances. When you get like a domestic disturbance call, that's a very dangerous call. And like people would typically think, oh, it's nothing, it's just a couple arguing and stuff like that. But the thing is though, is how the reason domestic disturbances are so dangerous is because you don't know what's going to happen. They're so unpredictable. Is that it could be like a domestic disturbance could be like a cop going to like a house and like a couple just getting into a massive argument and screaming at each other that the neighbors call the cops. That could just be basically what it is. Or they could be like a cop could like go to like a scene, like a house, and he could find like the wife all beat up, and then like a second later the husband comes out in the next room with like a shotgun. So like that, domestic disturbances are very scary calls that like police officers can get to. And so that's like what I say is like a lot of times the public does not realize how dangerous it is to actually be a police officer because it's so unpredictable. You don't know exactly what can happen in those type of situations. But also it's not even just about the pay or the violence also aspect of it, but it's also about the fact that in today's day and age, like a lot of the public does not respect the police anymore. That's just how I personally feel about it. And I've said this multiple times, but I know there's bad cops out there. I know there's racist cops and there's bad cops. They shouldn't be cops. They should be fired or in jail depending on what they did. But it's like not every police officer is like that. Like the vast majority of police officers are good people that want to help their communities. But unfortunately, the media and like the public try to make the vast majority of police officers look bad and unreasonable. And so then you have large amounts of the public that don't want to work with the police. They think all cops are bad people, and that doesn't help. That doesn't help. Community policing is very important because you want to have good relations between the community and the police. But sometimes the media does not help with that. I understand that the media should like cover all stories, but the media also has like a responsibility to be objective. And sometimes when I see like the way the media like describes certain things, they generalize police officers, and they make all police officers look bad. And I personally don't like that. Am I gonna try Mercenaries 1 soon and talk about how EA could have made an awesome franchise out of it comparing with GTA? Yes. Mercenaries, I will do. I actually did a playthrough of Mercenaries 1 2 years ago. Go on my channel, there's actually a series on it, Mercenaries 1. And I'll do another playthrough of it. And I wanted to make a lore video on it in North Korea, because Mercenaries takes place in North Korea, and the map is actually kind of accurate to North Korea in that game. So it's, Mercenaries has the most accurate depiction of North Korea that I've seen in a video game. In high school, I had a project and got partnered with someone I didn't know. I had autism and didn't help as much as the other partner. The partner lied to the teacher and said I didn't help at all. I got a 0. Oh, I'm sorry about that, Wolf. That really sucks. But it's always important to try to document stuff, like and try to keep track of what you did. You don't want somebody else claiming credit for your work. And also make sure you let your teacher know ahead of time, on stuff like that. If you feel like your partner's going to screw you over, let your teacher know about it. Hello, Pro. Hope you're having a good Friday. What are your thoughts on the GoldenEye 007 coming to Xbox and Nintendo Switch? You should play it soon. I never got a chance to play those games, so I should play those games one day. Why do people hate Kane and Lynch 2? Well, I guess it was because it was a short game, but it was, Kane and Lynch 2 was actually kind of a fun game. Found your channel recently. Hello from England. Love your videos. Thank you, Samuel. Plus, most police officers get PTSD from their jobs because of how unpredictable their jobs are. Yes, and that's the thing is, a lot of people do not know that. A lot of people think that only soldiers get PTSD, but soldiers don't just get PTSD. Anybody who suffers any kind of traumatic experience can get PTSD. This can be a cop that goes through like some dangerous situation. It could be a firefighter. This could be a paramedic. This could even be like, regular person on the street that like gets attacked by somebody and develops PTSD from that. So that's like anybody can develop PTSD. My brother wanted to be a police officer, but then he changed his mind when he grew up. Yeah, well, it's a lot of people change their minds, and I'll tell you though something about this is that when it comes to police officers, is that you have the least amount of people signing up to become police officers in American history. So like in all of America's history, you have the lowest rates of people signing up for the police force, and you have the highest rates of people also leaving the police force. So there's shortages of police officers, and it's just going to get worse. That's not going to improve. It's going to get worse. And it's because people don't see it as worth it becoming police officers. They don't. They know, situations, how dangerous situations can get. They know that a lot of the times the public does not respect them. And, yeah, it's just people don't want to be cops anymore. And also, when you have like people that want to like defund the police, what people do not realize is that police budgets are really tight. The police do not have an infinite amount of money. Like, people think that the police have an infinite amount of money. The police don't have an infinite amount of money. And police force budgets are, I would almost compare it to like a retail manager, like police force budgets. Like, they try to cut corners a lot of times to save money. And the thing is, though, is that, this is the scary thing is, people think that police officers are constantly on patrol, but if you knew how many people were actually on patrol in your neighborhood, you would freak out, because it'd be a lot less than you think there are. A lot less police officers are on patrol at certain hours than you think they are. And so there's already shortages of police officers, and the fact that people want to cut, the police's budget even more, that's not going to help. That's just going to make it worse. And then you have stupid prosecutors that just make the situation even worse. So it's just that. Will I cosplay Matthias Nielsen? Yes, I will. I actually have Nielsen's shirt, and he has Nielsen wears a black. I know his outfit. Nielsen, his standard outfit in Mercenaries 1. Nielsen wears like a black tactical sweater. He wears a black tactical sweater. He wears like wolf teeth on his necklace, and then he has shooting glasses. That's what he has on. So that was Nielsen's outfit. You reckon if the police run out of people, the USA will become anarchy? Thank you, Sebi, for the super chat. Well, I wouldn't use the term anarchy, but I would say that if there's less police officers, it's less safe. That's just how it's going to be. And the thing is, criminals aren't stupid a lot of times. Criminals know how many cops are in a specific area, and they see less of a police presence. They're going to take advantage of that 100%. So there's the people that ask for defunding the police. I don't think a lot of times they know what they're asking for. And like I'll tell you something. I'll give you an example of something. My friend, he moved to Maine. And so one of my friends, this is one of my friends that I grew up with, he ended up becoming a police officer. I ended up not becoming a police officer, but he ended up going into, he ended up moving to Maine because he was tired of the city. So he moved to a pretty rural part of Maine, and he became like a state trooper in Maine, and that's what he's doing right now. And he told me some time ago that like the entire state of Maine, like the entire state, only has like 100 SWAT members. I think it's like the entire state, like only 100. And that 100 is like spread across the state, so they're not all together in the same place. And like imagine a place like Maine like that, like a place like Maine that does not have a lot of police officers already, and you cut their budget, you know, their resources are, it's gonna be a disaster. So people don't realize, like, a lot of times, like I said, people don't realize how police budgets work. They don't realize the resources that police officers have or what they have to deal with. And the Reddit Online documentary is coming out on Sunday. I honestly can't wait to see that cosplay. I think you should do it soon, especially since you finished Saints Row, and Mercenaries is just as chaotic as Saints Row, but Mercenaries' destruction is fire. Thank you. And you know what's cool about Mercenaries is that you can destroy every single building in the game. That's what's awesome about Mercenaries. And also, I learned a lot about North Korea when I was playing through Mercenaries. The soundtrack in Mercenaries, like all the music in Mercenaries, the trumpet sounds, all of that, it's the music, the orchestra that's in Mercenaries is like so good. The soundtrack is so good in that one. Hi Pro, Gretty, Mobinator's friend. Fun fact, Darden from GTA 4's surname, Petrella, is based off a real town in Albania. You look great, keep up on the good content, love from Albania. Thank you, Gretty. Well, I will be doing also SOCOM 2, you know, sometime in the future. I know I've been saying it, but I'll eventually play it, and SOCOM 2, a huge chunk of that also takes place in Albania, so that might interest you in Mobinator, Gretty. Wasn't that hotel that ended up unfinished, ended up as a base in one of the missions? Yes, it was called Song Tower in the game, but it was a real life hotel. So North Korea built like this huge, massive hotel. It's like one of the tallest buildings in their country, and they tried to build this hotel to try to supposedly impress the rest of the world with North Korea's architecture, and they like never finished it. And so like the building has like several unfinished floors, and it's barely used. And I think huge parts of the building don't even have electricity. So that's that. But like a lot of the landmarks. And do you know this zombie? Zombie infected gaming. Do you know that a lot of the locations in Mercenaries are real locations in North Korea? Do you know that? Like a lot of the landmarks, the towns, all of those are real locations. And if you actually, I'll do a video like comparing the locations in Mercenaries to the locations in North Korea in real life for Google Images, and you'll be surprised on how accurate the map is in a lot of the places. So the developers, when they were designing like the landscape of North Korea in that game, they did a really good job researching what the country looked like. Remember the fake buildings? Yes, that is called the Propaganda Village. The Propaganda Village, what is it called? The Propaganda Village, I'm trying to remember what it was called. It's called Kijong-dong. That is the name of the Propaganda Village. But go on Google, guys, and look up North Korean Propaganda Village. And basically, the Propaganda Village is one of the scariest places in North Korea. And the reason that the Propaganda Village is so scary is because it's a border town. So it's a town that's like right on the border, and from the South Korean side, you can see the Propaganda Village. And when you look at the Propaganda Village, all the buildings look nice. Like, the buildings look nice, and everything like that. It looks like a decent town, but the thing is, you don't see anybody in the town. There's nobody there. And do you know why? It's because the buildings are hollow. On the other side, there's nothing. There's nothing there. The buildings are fake. So it's basically almost like fake building walls being put up. And you're probably wondering, why would the North Korean government put fake buildings on their border? The reason for that is because they're trying to make the buildings look nice, and they're trying to make North Korea look like a nice place to live. And so they're trying to get people from South Korea to cross over to North Korea. That's the purpose of the Propaganda Village. So that's a really scary place. But go Google it. Fake buildings in North Korea. You'll see Propaganda Village. Really creepy place that exists. Hey Pro, I'll send you my Activision username so you can play the beta this weekend or next weekend. If you get a code next week, it's for everyone. I have to pre-order the game still, so if I pre-order it, can I get the code right now? I think it's for PlayStation, but I'm gonna get the PlayStation version anyways, so I'll see. When is the Saints Row Reboot review coming out? Give me like a week or two. It's gonna take me some time to put that video together, but I'm gonna start working on it. I also have to finish up the documentary. Do you think EA is stupid for not using the Mercs game on Frostbite? Yes. I think that they should do a remake of it. But there's one thing, there's one question that I have for you. Zombie, you might know the answer to this question. Why does EA not have the rights to Destroy All Humans? Because Destroy All Humans was made by the same developer that made Mercenaries. Yes, parlay him, and I'll just, I'll do the parlay, yeah. But Mercenaries, Destroy All Humans was made by the same developer that made Mercenaries. But why does EA own Mercenaries but they don't own Destroy All Humans? Does anyone know that question? The answer to that one? No, I'm not ignoring anyone. There's just a lot of comments. You ever hear about that escaping about people escaping North Korea to South Korea? Oh yeah, a lot of people do, but it's so hard to leave North Korea. That's the thing about it. Most people who leave North Korea don't cross through the DMZ, which is the South Korean border. They cross through China. However, though, that's very dangerous as well, because China has an agreement with North Korea that if they actually catch anybody, a North Korean in China, they will deport that North Korean right back to North Korea, and that's either a death sentence or being sent to a work camp if you get caught escaping North Korea. So that's what that is. No, I haven't played the shooter Black. I've never played that one, but I know it's the PS2 game with the cover of all the bullets on it. That's Black, but I've never played that one. It honestly annoys me why nothing is happening with Mercenaries, and I've never let it go if EA stopped the franchise when I was a kid. Mercenaries 2 was my first Mercenaries game, and last, sadly. Mercenaries 1 was my favorite one. I just like the North Korea setting, but it's so crazy that you brought that up, Zombie Gaming, because I was planning on doing Mercenaries anyways. Did you, like, find my old videos or something about it? Because I'm planning on doing it eventually again. Yes, I will, Sebi. THQ was the original publisher of Destroy All Humans. Oh, okay, I see. So then, okay. Okay, so then Pandemic was then taken over by... Okay, so they own Destroy All Humans, but then EA owns Mercenaries. Okay. The person who voices Zim in Invader Zim voices Pox, also in Destroy All Humans. You watched my entire playthrough. Oh, okay. Well, when I do a playthrough of Mercenaries again, when I do a playthrough of it, I'm going to talk about, like, North Korea. And I'm going to talk about, like, you know, comparing it to the game and, like, the history and stuff like that. And people are going to find my playthrough very interesting. But Mercenaries 1 is the best war game that I've ever played. For people wondering what it is, Mercenaries is an open world game that takes place in North Korea. So it's the entire country of North Korea to explore. And you, like, work for different factions in the game. And, like, and the goal of the game is to capture the North Korean dictator. He's the main antagonist. So that's, like, the goal of, like, Mercenaries. And you make money in that game. You get money from, like, the bounties, like, capturing the North Korean people in North Korean regime and stuff like that, and I will but I'm gonna go in the game chat to play a little poker here, guys.
Okay.
Okay, let's see here. Okay. Have a good night, everyone. In Pearl. Keep watching The Walking Dead. I'm currently on season 6. Happy Friday, everyone. Well, thank you, George. I'll see you. Take care, man. My friend gets your point, but the population of players will eventually go up because people keep buying GTA since Rockstar is a multi-billion-dollar business that it's like a dent in the wallet. I don't think I think it's way more than a dent in the wallet. What Red Dead players will do. They're just gonna not buy. Red Dead players will probably buy GTA 6, but they're not gonna buy any more microtransactions from Rockstar. My mom also told me that guards in North Korea kidnap tourists and keep them to stay in the country. That does happen sometimes. But it's typically when stuff like that happens, there's an international incident. There was that case of that American student that was like a few years ago, Otto Warmbier. He was caught on camera taking like a propaganda poster in North Korea. And so then they sentenced him to like five or so years of hard labor, and he ended up getting sent back home. But when he got sent back home, he was in a coma, and they did something to him in prison. I don't know exactly what they did to him, but they did something to him. No one goes to prison for a short while and then ends up in a coma. That doesn't happen. That's like they did something to him in prison. They made his life a living hell, and it's just he passed away shortly afterwards. It was just really bad. What's your PSN, Zombie? I think you get access to the first beta if you pre-order the game, but the second beta is for everyone. I got the Vault Edition, so I got access to the beta. Oh, okay, W3T. Do you know, oh, I did watch Team America World Police. I saw that a long time ago. That movie was really funny. It was the puppets. I remember that one movie too. But do you know what I actually like about why is it so hard to leave North Korea? Because it's a giant prison country. That's why. The North Korean border is like the most fortified border in the world. And so it's like, it is so difficult to escape. Like, the North Korean government has so many checkpoints on the border, it is very difficult. And if you notice, who escapes from the North Korean border most of the time? It's soldiers, North Korean soldiers, because they're on the border there. And so that's how they get away. But civilians, it's so hard for them to escape. I got okay cards. Shouldn't America declare war on North Korea for what they did to that American student? They really can't. Because if America declared war on North Korea, basically, like, two things would happen. The first, America would eventually win. But basically what would happen is North Korea has hundreds of artillery guns pointed at Seoul. So they have like Seoul, the capital of South Korea, zeroed in. And the second that any war would start, North Korea would just shell Seoul like really badly. Like they just start shelling. And then North Korea also has nuclear weapons. And like while those nuclear weapons probably wouldn't be able to like reach like America, North Korea would definitely try to destroy South Korea and Japan. And even if Japan didn't fight them in that war, they would still probably try to destroy Japan. So Japan and South Korea, they would try to destroy with nuclear missiles. So that's just it. It's just and also North Korea has one of the largest armies in the world. They actually have 9 million soldiers in their army. But even though their country only has like a population of 22 million, but yet they have 9 million soldiers. Almost half of their population are soldiers. But the reason for that is because there's forced conscription in North Korea. North Korea like forcibly conscripts their population. But do you know what the hardest, like, I have watched a lot of documentaries about North Korea. I've read a lot about North Korea. And even though I've read so much about that country, do you know what the hardest thing to tell about North Korea is? The hardest thing that I could never figure out? I cannot figure out whether the majority of the public in North Korea are just really scared, and so they're not cooperating, like they're cooperating with the regime, or that they just are so brainwashed and they believe in the dictatorship. Probably some combination of both, probably somewhere in the middle. But I've always wondered about that. I've always wondered how many people in North Korea truly support the North Korean government. That's what I wonder. Like, what is the percentage of people that actually support the North Korean government? It's impossible to know the exact number. But that's what I've always wanted to know that. I'm curious about that. Are you still going to explain why Trevor didn't kill Michael? Yes, that is my next lore video after my Lost lore video. So I have a Lost lore video coming out, like on the Lost MC. That's coming out after the documentary, and then right after that, I'm going to get working on the Trevor and Michael video.
I think my suppliers are creaming off the top.
Yes, I'm going to show the secret ending in Saints Row Reboot. Yes, I will probably do that, Sin. I will probably... Oh, your name is Zombie Infected Gaming on PSN. Oh, okay. There's some great videos on YouTube that ask former North Koreans, they were told about the US, and it's quite enlightening. Their government describes American people like cartoon villains. Yeah. Well, for North Korea, America is their greatest enemy. Now, it's kind of crazy you brought up Mercenaries, Zombie, because I've been thinking so much about that game lately. The Tony Montana lore video, yes, Mole, I have heard of that game, Mr. Green. I remember that game was very controversial when it came out. I will try to add you after the stream, Zombie. Dude, that's a really nice shirt. Thank you. Why is it that they don't like us? North Korea's army isn't 9 million. I'm pretty sure it is. Let me look it up. Curious what it is. Let's see. see, how big is North Korea's army? Let's see. North Korea's military is the world's 4th largest, with nearly 1.3 million active personnel. But wait, let me see. 1.3. I'm pretty sure I read somewhere it was 9 million, but it's if anything, still even a million, like, you know, even a million, that is like, yeah, that's still a ton. North Korea does not have the capabilities to invade America. Wish me a happy birthday. Happy birthday, August. Well, he's got it there. I don't know about, I know that, like, jailbreaking, that's not, that depending, a lot of places that's illegal, DJ. Yeah, I could possibly do a video on the PS5 price increase. Yeah, I know, Tony Montana isn't Payday, so I gotta check that out. Other day, a customer got pissy with me when he came in an hour before we officially opened, and I told him we're not open yet. I was there early to finish some stuff from yesterday. What? Well, how can he be pissed off at you when the store's not open yet? That guy's an idiot. Tell him, are you gonna show up to work an hour early? Just to say that to him. That's just, True, Sebi. They haven't seen active combat. No, I never played the remastered version of Last of Us. The only thing that could screw me over here is if somebody has a king. If somebody has a king. Okay, I'm gonna make a bet here. Okay, let's see. Now I'll do this. Please, no kings. Aw. Damn. My favorite Hitman game, Blood Money. Why did Mike Torino force CJ to work for him? Because Torino needed somebody like CJ that was not a CIA agent, somebody that could get things done for him that the other agents wouldn't know to follow. Yes, I did hear about it, Super Mario. Not great cards, but not terrible either. Yes, yes, North Korea does fall into anarchy. It's so crazy that I was actually thinking about that game the other day and actually thinking about the endings. But yes, Mr. Waifu, it does, like, it, depending on what faction you're the most friendly with, that's the faction that wins. Well, I got the apartment, you know, the apartment is cleaned up, you know, I have a new bed and everything like that, and so, you know, the flooding damage has been fixed.
Not sure why you'd want to wear that, my friend.
I was really lucky the flood didn't happen where my computer was. That would have been really bad. Well, Vic doesn't really have much of a story before the events of, 8, 9, 10, okay. Before Vice City Stories. What would I consider a good time period for a war game? I honestly think the Vietnam War and the early invasion of Iraq and Afghanistan to get so little video game attention. I think that the Korean War. The Korean War has never really been done in a game. Excuse me. Still, if North Korea uses nuclear weapons in South Korea or Japan, they will get destroyed by American nuclear weapons. True. That is true, that if North Korea tried to fire a nuclear weapon, that the U.S. would fire right at them, but, you know, the thing about that is that it's, you know, people want to avoid that as much as possible. That's why the U.S. really doesn't do anything about North Korea, because it's just a dangerous situation. It's like you have a psycho dictator of nuclear missiles. In Liberty City Stories, why didn't Salvatore tell Tony Cipriani that he trusted an outsider like CJ? That was actually why he didn't. He had problems trusting Tony because of his experience with CJ. I'm folding. I have no good cards. I don't know Zombie Infected Gaming. I don't have much hope in Rockstar anymore. After what they did to Reddit Online, I'm not happy. What links the events from GTA 3 to Liberty City Stories? The biggest link is Tony Cipriani. He's in GTA 3. But it also explains how the Leones became a powerful family again. It explains why Fort Staunton is under construction. Got a 6, but somebody got a king. Why didn't Luigi appear in Liberty City Stories? Because the voice actor who played as Luigi is the same guy who played as Ralph in Sopranos. I'm trying to remember the guy's name. Let me see. I'll look him up right now. Joe Pantoliano. He didn't want to come back to voice Luigi in he didn't want to come back to voice Luigi in Liberty City Stories, and the reason for that was because he felt that the game gave a bad impression to his kids, because he was ashamed that he and this is supposedly what I read. I don't know if this is true, but it's supposedly that he was ashamed of his role in GTA 3 and that his kids, like, that he was like a role model for his kids, and that he was playing like this gangster in this game. But I don't understand that logic, because he was playing He was playing Ralph Cifaretto, which Ralph Cifaretto in Sopranos is a much worse person than Luigi, much worse. And so that's, I don't understand that logic personally. No, I don't think Tony is a pushover. Thank you, Josh. Just be patient with me. A lot of these videos eventually I want to get out, but it's just going to take me some time. You're gonna upload Modern Warfare 2 after the stream tomorrow, or tomorrow or the next day. I'll have another part of Modern Warfare 2. I've just been very busy lately. No, he is a gangster. Luigi is a capo, so he is a gangster. As a captain in the Mafia. No, I've never played Driver Parallel Lines, but I played Driver 2. That I did play. Somebody probably has a kink. I'm going all in. Screw this. Okay, somebody's folding. Okay, let's see. Okay, this pot's getting big now. Pair of sixes. Oh, come on. Yeah, I could do a stream of Outlast on Halloween. Okay, I'm gonna see what cards I get. If I get something bad, I'm just leaving the table then. I did horrible in poker today. I don't think there really is a worse protagonist. I think that all the GTA protagonists are good. You think Claude is capable against the psychopaths in Dead Rising? Oh yeah, definitely. Okay, I'm done. Bad cards. Yeah. Terrible cards. Okay, well, I guess I'll probably be wrapping up my stream here, guys. If you guys want to ask me anything before I go, I'll still answer a few questions. If you guys enjoyed the stream, please drop a like. If you guys enjoyed the stream, it does help me and the channel out a lot. Hey, Orion. I'll see you, Miss Silver. Okay, see you, Bat. My favorite mission in the Modern Warfare trilogy? Probably the sniper mission in Call of Duty 4, yeah. Is it the MC party chat or is it a different one for Red Dead? It's a different one, Sebi. I will add you after the stream. Thank you for the super chat. Chuck Green's a cool protagonist. Yeah, I think Chuck Green and Frank were both great protagonists. Why did OG Loke betray you instead, Andreas? Simple. It's for money. Big Smoke paid... he got more money working with Big Smoke than he did with CJ, so that's why he did that. Jennifer, Matthias, and Chris are tied to the factions because they know Chinese, Korean, and Russian, right? All three main playable characters and mercenaries. Yes, Matthias knows Russian. Chris knows South Korean, and Jennifer knows Chinese or Mandarin. Mandarin is what they speak in the game, I believe. No, I know the game, Patrick, but I never played it. What the hell was that? Okay, yeah, I'll do a stream of the Call of Beta. We'll do that tomorrow. The Professional? Yes, I saw The Professional. That was actually a great movie. Would you be down for a game in Japan or the Italian campaign? It would be awesome to be a Marine during the island hopping or a Marine in the Kasserine Pass. It's a shame they've done... well, we're probably never going to get another World War II Call of Duty, unfortunately, because of Vanguard's disaster. But when World War II games are done correctly, they can be really cool. Yes, I've heard of that game, Mr. Green. Yes, the twins, they said that they would be in touch in Red Dead Redemption, Red Dead Online, and they never did. But I guess we will, we'll be wrapping this up here, guys. Thank you guys for watching the stream. I do really appreciate it. And if you guys did like the stream, do drop a like. Thank you guys for watching. We'll probably, if I get I'm gonna pre-order Modern Warfare tonight. If I get the Modern Warfare 2 beta code tonight, then I'll stream that tomorrow. And then Sunday we'll do a GTA stream, and Sunday the documentary and Red Dead Online will be up. So thank you guys for watching. I hope that you guys had a lot of fun. I'll see you guys on the next one.